Thank you for tuning in to the Bud and Roach Show.
Bro, game systems have always had some sort of iconic sound when they start up. The original Xbox had that whole, like the factory sound going and give you the X. PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and that little like quick. Sony, PlayStation 2 had the and then you had to wait for to see if the PlayStation did the after for it to come on.
That's how you know the disc.
The disc work. You had to get that PlayStation 2 to come on.
Your shit was scratched. That shit would go straight to the memory card screen.
Yep. Every game had Dreamcast had it. Almost every system had it. You know what systems didn't have it until later on when they went disc based? Nintendo. There wasn't one for 64.
It went straight.
SNES.
It went straight
NES
to the game.
Went straight to the game until GameCube when they went to disc based.
You know, that's a fact that I've never been like. No one's ever pointed that out to me before.
You know what? I didn't think about it until I was sitting here looking at that the cartridge, and I thought about it for every 64 game. There was no opening, and then for that, what was about a minute, 90 seconds. We were sitting here, it just ran through my memory.
That's crazy.
Until it went to GameCube, I had never seen an opening sequence for the system.
Nintendo was just
on
about
the cartridge.
The content.
It was about, yo, fuck all that extra memory.
There's no branding
We're going content here.
But then they also introduced the Rumble Pack.
Yes. They also introduced the expansion pack.
And all the accessories that made these games even more memorable. But when you talk about N64, and bro, like a lot of people don't know this about Bud and Roach. I post a lot of the pictures of us back in the day and shit like that, but we go even way backer than any of the folks.
You guys don't know. I don't think we have pictures of how. I think there may be one.
Because we was before
our
the camera
collective
era.
First day of 291, 6th grade,
and
seventh grade.
It's gotta be in someone's photo album.
My mom has it. We were outside. There's a picture of me, you, Betty, and Joey.
We need to get that.
At least I know for a fact there's one of at least me and you. I know that there's one of me, you, Betty, and Joey, of me, you, and Betty. I know that there's definitely one of me and you on our first day of 291 out back in the yard. My mom took it. I promise you.
But we was like, we grew up in the same building on the same floor for more than 20 years. And we turned that hallway. Our hallway was an extension of our home. Because we had a monitor and an N64 that we put out in the hallway with an extension cable
from my kitchen,
and we gamed.
And at first my mom hated it, and then she realized, well, they're not in the streets getting in trouble, they're not in the yard.
We wasn't bothering nobody.
We were just in the yard. We were just in the hall. We were a little raucous, a little loud. We had one bitch nigga do some bitch shit. And the fact that the person who tried it with just makes you a bigger bitch, cause
that's just a whole
however you say
podcast,
it,
bro.
However you want to take it. The fact of the bitch move you pulled with who you pulled it with makes you a bigger bitch.
Like you disrupted our
flow
space of silence.
When we let you in, we allowed you into us, into the sphere. We allowed you into the sphere of influence.
You know what?
And you fucked up.
No, we're not even gonna talk about that shit, bro. Because that's a whole other podcast.
It is. We're just talking about this one right here.
You know what? All I'm going to say is, God bless you, bro. Wherever you are. Because you did not take the fun out of No Mercy.
You didn't.
You didn't take the fun out of GoldenEye either. All you did was just temporarily disrupt something that's been brewing since we were fucking children. And
it was back maybe a week later. It wasn't that long of a disruption. But
dumbass.
We had an incredible amount of great times on this game, and this was like the final version of it. This was like
WrestleMania 2000 was like the beta tester.
Even before that, you had
WCW
NWO Revenge, and then World Tour before that. So we saw the progression of it
the
from
mechanics,
World Tour to Revenge to fucking WrestleMania 2000 to No Mercy, where we got that engine, how they twisted and worked that engine into what it became for us, man. Well, this is still one of the iconic games. Of its era.
And on many
and
websites
of that genre.
But on many websites, it's considered the best wrestling game of all time.
It is.
And
A lot of them consider that WrestleMania 2000.
WrestleMania 2000, we're going to get into that right now. Because I feel that WrestleMania 2000, for us, we were so enthralled in the fact that you can create your own titles. You had full entrances. You made your way down to the ring. Like The Rock lifted his arm and Stone Cold gave the finger and all that shit. That when those things were stripped in No Mercy, you couldn't create your own title. You couldn't make your way all the way
But
down
they
to
were
the ring.
stripped for reasons that you
Just-
had to get through it to understand and make it what it was.
But now that we've existed past the cartridge-based systems, we understand as consumers that in a cartridge, you can only hold a certain amount of information. In order for them to incorporate things like SmackDown Mall and Career Mode and all those things that made No Mercy
bar,
so iconic,
all the backstage with all the stuff
areas,
going on, the TLCs,
all of those things,
to be able to go through a table to do these things.
the 3D,
Yes.
when you had the tag team moves,
That takes computing power.
and that was the reason why they stripped, half of the entrances. They made the game mechanics smoother. It's way smoother than
without a doubt,
than WrestleMania 2000.
Without a doubt.
But at the end of the day, they did take away things that we loved, but we grew on No Mercy so quickly.
And here's the craziest thing about No Mercy. A lot of people don't know. A lot of the early No Mercy cartridges had a glitch where for no reason whatsoever, it would delete everything you've ever done.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Because you know me, I always got things late. I didn't come from a wealthy, environment.
Who had the first cartridge that did? Was it Nook? I think it was Nook had No Mercy.
Nook
had the one that
Nook
deleted.
always had the games on the day they came out. Always.
But it was his that was the one that kept deleting, and we knew it. Nobody wanted to buy it after that.
No, it wasn't his.
No?
His was good. I borrowed Ralph's No Mercy. From
Ralph St. Albert.
Ralph and Luby. I'm going to tag them on this shit. I borrowed Ralph. I remember that day I went to this dude's house. Mind you, me and Ralph cut school. So
Ralph,
we walked to his crib. And Ralph is a blessed man.
Yo, that's my dude.
Shout
bro.
out to Ralph.
The way he helped me with my basketball game, bro. The only thing that would have made senior year better was winning the championship with Ralph still on the team, bro.
If I could compare Ralph to anyone else in like their awkward arrangement of life and just how they how people perceive them, that's Kawhi Leonard. Like that's Ralph.
Yo.
That's Ralph.
Yo.
Imagine Kawhi Leonard
Yo, you
in
say
a
that?
raspberry
Yo,
do-rag.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from a basketball standpoint. Obviously, I just said what I said. We obviously played on a team together. We played a lot together in high school. I'm looking at it from that standpoint. But even personality at that point, bro.
Personality,
I would
bro.
put. Yo, that is
Yes,
that is a perfect analogy, bro.
He's Kawhi Leonard.
Yo, that's still my. Yo, he's my dude,
Bro, I love Ralph.
I miss.
God
I miss
bless him
Ralph.
and
Yo.
his family.
Yo, when can we play ball, bro? When you tag him in this, just get that up there. When
we
we play ball,
we gonna tag his ass on this shit. Just like we tagged Guerrero on that 8-ball. But Ralph, we cut school together, and he walked me to his crib. And I remember we walked through Putnam. And on Putnam, that's where Joey used to live. And the person that lived next door to Joey was one of the elders in the church. So his wife is sitting outside, and she sees me walking to Ralph's crib with this black dude with braids. And I swear to God, by the time I got home with a No Mercy cartridge in my hand, my mom was ready with the belt talking about why you wasn't in school. They called me. I said, and I told Ralph too when we walked by that house. I said, "Damn, this bitch saw me."
Yo, ain't nothing worse than
got made, nigga.
ain't nothing
Like
worse
Jehovah's Witness.
than being around other J Dubs who ratted on you.
It's just
There
bored.
was
They're
somebody,
bored,
yo,
bro.
There was someone who went to my grandmother's congregation, and she worked in 291, and she was a lunch lady. I don't know how she knew me, but she knew I was my grandmother's grandson, and she told my grandmother about what my mouth sounded like, and I had to be honest with my grandma. I do curse, but I'll try not to. I love my grandmother with all my heart. Rest in peace. She knows my mouth never changed. I just tried to clean it up around her, and she never heard my mouth that size, that in that way. And my brother and sister tried to throw me under the bus a lot with that. My cousin Vanessa too. Even with me smoking weed, they tried to throw me under the bus a lot, and I just fessed up. I owned up to it. I didn't lie about it.
But this is why we're radio legends. Because we both can't control our mouths.
We can't, man. Yo, it's the truth, bro. Like I tell people all the time, man. Like, yo, fuck's one of my favorite words in the English dictionary. If you let me, I will drop fuck every other word.
Yo, but let me bring it back to No Mercy, because we're going to go off on a tangent.
We did. And we do this a lot.
So, I get home with Ralph's No Mercy. He instructs me to not delete any of his created characters. So I go in there and I'm ready to like just create my own shit, but like respect what's there. So
WrestleMania 2000 style.
Exactly.
You had all those slots.
So and not only do you have the slots, but you know when you hit the yellow buttons, you switch outfits, so you can basically create one moveset with 4 different characters, and still like be able to maintain a huge roster. You can create the entire WWE roster right now in No Mercy.
I never thought about doing it like that. I just would make like
people
the
do
same guy, just different costumes.
Nah, people do mods, and
I know
a lot of these mods, all they do is the same moveset and completely different characters for each one.
That's wild.
So, but they even had that in No Mercy, because you had like Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson, and then the referees, they'll just have the generic movesets. I spent, I'd say 70 hours, solid hours, gaming hours, creating an entire roster that I felt I deserved. I felt that I worked for that shit. I wanted to create the Ultimate Warriors and the Big Boss Mans, bro. I went in. This was during the internet time when I first got internet in my house. So I was just going to the cause. And for the people that don't know,
Creator Wrestlers.
That's a Creator Wrestler.
That's an acronym.
So the only real wrestling fans and gamers know this. So I did all the calls, and oh my God, I was ready. And then I went to school one day, and I told Ralph, I was like, bro, thank you so much. Then I go home and I put the cartridge in. And that shit was factory reset.
You told me that shit, I remember.
And I'm looking at everybody in the house. Yeah. I was stepbrother. So I went to him first. Said, what the fuck is this? Is this personal? Bro, I was so fucking angry, bro.
Cartridge was...
And it wasn't until I did a little... And this was before Google. I did a Yahoo search. I'm like, yo, No Mercy resetting? What the fuck? Question marks. And across the globe, they released this perfect wrestling game with glitches. So it came at a price.
How did they... I want to know how they fixed that, though, with the other cartridges.
The cartridges that were released, you can't recall them because the people love No Mercy so much, they're not going to send them back.
Because I have to... Those cartridges have to still be floating around.
Even until today, if you go into, like, let's say, we had Capone that was selling the retro shit, then what happens? You're gambling because that could still be a faulty cartridge.
It might be. When I brought you, when I brought that case before the fire incident, we got all those games. That No Mercy worked, right?
Yeah.
Damn, man.
That No Mercy worked. We found the No Mercy that worked, and what happened? My house burned down.
We didn't just find a No Mercy that worked. We found a whole lot, an entire lot of every wrestling game for N64. I'm talking Attitude. I'm talking Warzone. I'm talking fucking WCW
Monday
Thunder.
Night Wars. This was at the height.
Had them all. And you know what? I think I might still have a couple of those that you didn't take with you somewhere in my room.
I hope so, but you know what?
But those were the shitty ones.
I think that Bud and Roach is going to reach the point where we're just so paid that we're both going to have every fucking system, every fucking game, because we've been doing the fucking since 2012.
Man, we've been doing the fucking since we've been together, man. Olympics, baby.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bud and Roach Show.